I'm making this video in an effort to demonstrate how to make, how making Canvas quizzes can be a lot simpler than building each quiz question by question. Now, I did not learn how to do this on my own. Kudos to Chef Miller for introducing me to this. I'm going to demonstrate how to build a QTI file. The QTI file is going to be built in Notepad. So what I'm going to do, what you need to do is build your Canvas quiz however you build it. If that's with AI using Raina in Magic School, or if it's with AI using ChatGPT, or if it's old school, however you generate your questions, just generate your questions. We have to build it a classic quiz for Canvas, and we're going to import them. I'm going to import 4 different question types. I'm going to utilize multiple choice, true and false, multiple answer, and fill in the blank. And I'm going to show you the proper formatting so that we can then transform these QTI files. We'll create this QTI file using my preferred conversion site, and then upload them into Canvas and demonstrate how quick that this can go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import all my multiple choice questions, and I'm going to demonstrate how to provide feedback, and as well, I'm going to import multiple choice and true and false, and demonstrate how to provide feedback and identify correct answers. So I've already copied those questions, and now I'm going to paste them into this. I'm going to delete any information that is not required or maybe extraneous for the system. Now, you see here I have extra spaces in front or after the numbers. We need to eliminate those spaces. There should only be 1 space after each number. I'm going to go through and I'm going to properly format that. All right, I'm going to pause here and just finish that up. Okay, at this point I finished correcting all the spacing after numbers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to demonstrate how to identify correct answers. So the correct answer you see where I have answer A identified as the correct answer. I'm going to come in and I'm going to place an asterisk in front of answer A. So all of my answers are currently set up to be identified by Canvas or by the QTI format as the correct answer choices. After I identify the correct answer, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to add a space. You see I added in a new space up here by pressing enter in front of the A. And I'm going to add a minus sign and a space, and I'm going to give feedback to students. So I'm going to give that feedback so that if they answer this incorrectly, it's going to give them the feedback to what the correct answer should have been. Now I'm going to come down to where I had answer A listed, and I'm going to delete that out. Now we need this white space here. This white space will let the programming know that the next question is coming. Now you see my next correct answer C. I'm going to come in front of the C, and I'm going to add an asterisk, identifying it as a correct answer. Go back up to A, press enter, go up, add a minus sign, and now I'm going to come down and copy NAND, because that is the correct answer, to provide feedback to all students who may answer this question incorrectly. Once again, I'm going to come down to C, and I am going to delete that out, leaving the white space down here. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate one more time. Again, C is my correct answer, asterisk in front of C to identify as a correct answer. Going back up to A, press enter to create a space, up, minus sign. The minus will only provide feedback if a student answers incorrectly. I'm going to copy my correct answer, place it after the minus sign. Oops. I actually accidentally inputted too much space. I'm going to delete that space out. Now I'm going to come down to where it says answer C, and I'm going to delete that. All right, I'm gonna pause here and finish the rest of my multiple choice questions. Okay, at this point we're gonna start we're building the true and false section. True and false is essentially the same as multiple choice. So here, I'm gonna start at this one. I'm gonna go ahead and add my feedback. My feedback is just gonna be true. And then I'm gonna start adding in my answer options. Asterisk A, open or close parentheses, space true for my correct answer. And then B, close parentheses, false for my incorrect answer. You see my feedback is true. I'm going to delete this to give my extra space. Now I'm going to go back under here. My feedback for this one will be false. So this time A, close parentheses, true for my incorrect answer, asterisk B, close parentheses, false for my correct answer. Now I'll do one more for you to view, and then I'm just going to finish the rest on my own. All right, so hopefully y'all got it. Pausing. Okay, now I'm going to import my multiple answer questions and my fill in the blank questions. So at this point, I'm copying them all from my original file. And now I'm pasting them in. So first I'm going to go ahead and delete extraneous information that is not needed. Now, once again, I'm going to come through and delete extra spaces that would cause errors in the QTI conversion. Now down to my fill in the blank. All right, so we're going to come back up here. We're going to fix a couple of these multiple answers. So we see my correct answers are A, C, D. So this is what we're going to do. First, we're going to open bracket, A, asterisk, close bracket, because that is one correct answer. On this incorrect answer, B, we're just going to open bracket, close bracket. On the correct answer of C, we're going to delete the C out, and we're going to open bracket, asterisk, close bracket. On the correct answer of D, we're going to delete the D out, and we're going to open bracket, asterisk, close bracket. Now, for my feedback, I'm going to go back to my first answer. I'm going to hit enter, go up, minus, and now I'm just going to copy and paste all my correct answers in after the minus sign with a comma separating the various correct answers. Now you can find a myriad of ways in which to do this. However, I found that putting all the correct answers after one minus sign is very simple. Now I created my blank space after question number 33 to delineate where question number 33 and then question number 34 begin. Now once again, I'm going to demonstrate again how to show my correct and incorrect answers. So I'm going to open bracket, asterisk, close bracket, since A is one of my correct answers, B is a correct answer, so I'm going to open bracket, asterisk, close bracket for B. C is an incorrect answer, so I'm going to open bracket, close bracket. And then D is another correct answer, so I'm going to open bracket, asterisk, close bracket. Going back to my first question, I'm going to enter, and then I'm going to go back up, add the minus sign space. And I'm going, oh, look at this. I didn't add a bracket. That's a bracket. I had to fix that. So now I'm going to add the correct answers in my feedback, separated by commas. one last time. Now on this one, I'm going to actually create an error in my feedback, and you will see why when we get to the QTI conversion. So my correct answer A, asterisk, close bracket. Correct answer B, asterisk, close bracket. Incorrect answer of C, open bracket, close bracket. Correct answer of D, open bracket, asterisk, close bracket. So I'm going to come up here and I am going to hit return or enter, minus sign. Typically we put a space in here, but this time I'm going to forget it. And I'm going to add my feedback. Control C. Last bit of feedback. Okay. And then I'm going to add this last space. Now the reason that I made a mistake here is I'm going to show you how to flush out mistakes when you find errors in the QTI conversion process. All right, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to finish out the rest of these and I'll bring you back for the fill in the blank questions. Okay, so let's move on to the fill in the blank questions. So here we have my answer. My answer is register. So I'm going to add my feedback first. Now you could elect to not add feedback, but I always add feedback on tests. So I'm going to add my space. I'm going to copy the correct answer, which is register. Paste it. I'm going to paste it again, but I'm going to change the first character to a lowercase character. Try to catch as many variances as possible. So now I'm going to come and I'm going to add my correct answers. Star, this time it's going to have a space behind it, and then I'm going to put register. I'm going to put another asterisk, and I'm space, and paste, and then I'm going to change it to the lowercase r. So now I've added two different types, two variances of the word register that will qualify as a correct answer. Oh, let me remove this extra space here. Now I'm going to come in to question 50. I'm going to go up, add my feedback. My feedback is bit. This is feedback only for incorrect answers. Comma, paste again, and I'm going to change this first character to a lowercase b. I'm going to press enter. Now I'm going to add an asterisk to identify my correct answers. Space, bit, return, enter, asterisk, paste, and I'm going to change this first character to lowercase b and get rid of this n I accidentally put in here. Okay, I'm going to do it with one more, and then I'm going to finish out these last two on my own to save time. Okay, I just finished my last question. Now we're going to save this file as, and we're going to say, you can save it as whatever name you want to save it as. I am going to save this one as the next file in. So those of you with keen attention to detail may have noticed that the composition of this quiz has changed, and that's because I realized as I was finalizing the final question in the original segment portion that I had been working with the wrong test entirely, so I had to go and find the right test and change it. But luckily this wasn't a long process, so I was able to do that pretty quickly. So at this point we want to go to File, and we want to hit Save As, and we want to save this as the name of the test that the name that you want the test to be called. So for mine it's going to be prototyping. If I could spell techniques. So, and I'm going to save this to the folder that I've previously saved items to. So now I am complete. And recall that I built in an error to this so that we can see it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to go to San Diego State University. I'm going to include this link into the email so that you can have it if you choose to utilize this. San Diego State University's QTI converter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over my file, and I want to find the prototyping techniques. I'm going to drag and drop this into the box. Now we should see how we got an error. It says line 90 missing white space. So in order to correct this, we're going to go back to our prototyping techniques file, and we want to, if we click and if we just sit here, if you look at the bottom, you see where it says line 78. So all we got to do is arrow down until we find where right here it says line 90, and this is the white space that we're missing. So between the dash and the word copper, there should be white space. So now if I say File, Save, minimize this, I can try again. And now when I bring up my file and I go to drop this, we should have no errors. Oh, syntax, answer 3D printing. So incorrect syntax, so I guess I did have another error in here, not a big deal. We're going to come back to here, syntax, 3D printing, okay. Shouldn't have had a space here, or here, here, or here, here, or here. So we'll file, save, and hopefully have corrected any and all errors that may arise. Go back, prototyping techniques, drop that in. Line 105, missing white space after the star. So let's go to here. Line 105. It's 110. That may have just been an odd error. Let's come back. Oh, sorry, I forgot to delete this. This is my error right here. I forgot to delete this out. So I didn't have the extra white space. Did all that for nothing. But you see how it points to errors. We just have to be cognizant about what we're doing. So now that that's out, I should be able to minimize, try again, and drop this back in. And boom. Now I'm going to keep this file. Keep it. And so this has successfully converted. So now this is what we do. We go to our Canvas course and we're going to go to Home. And what we're going to do is we're going to import existing content. We're going to select one. We're going to scroll down to QTI zip file. Now we're going to browse our files and we are going to select this zip file. It is prototyping techniques, the one we just created, and click open. Now once we do that, we're going to go with test bank. We're going to say create a new test bank. We always have to do this. It's not going to name it like it should, but we have to give it a name. I just realized that I named it incorrectly previously. And prototyping and fabrication techniques, and I'm going to say add to queue. So we're going to see it pop up in our queue. It's going to run, and it's complete. So now we're going to go to quizzes, and when we come down here at the bottom, you see this new quiz with 19 points? This is the one that we just created. So we're going to take this, and we're going to edit it. So we're going to change the name of this quiz to Prototyping and Fabrication Techniques. And then I need to add some data in here. Now I have this data open in a different window, so I'm going to go ahead and just come in and I'm going to copy and paste the pertinent information, and I'll make a quick edit to it. Copy. I'll paste that in here. Now I'm going to change this from fundamental principles and theory to prototyping and fabrication techniques. And then I'm going to change it from 16% to its actual percentage, which is 6%, and total of 10 questions. Now, what you put in here is going to be whatever the instructions that you need for your test. So on this test, this is a practice for my students. I'm going to leave it set to minor grades. Typically, you would change this to a major grade. You would sync to Infinite Campus. You would shuffle answers. I'm not going to shuffle it. You could add a time limit in here and state the number of minutes. I am going to allow multiple attempts. Typically, you would not allow multiple attempts unless this was something to hone them in. This is a practice test for them, so I am not going to limit them. You could also set here questions one at a time. I am not going to set a due date because this is a practice test, and then I'm going to save and publish. So once I have that done, my quiz is saved and published. I'm going to go to modules. I'm going to come here to Nocti preparation is where I'm adding it. I'm going to add, go to quizzes, and I'm going to find prototyping and fabrication techniques classic, add item. I forgot to indent it, so I'm going to add a little bit of indentation, and it's in the right place. So now we can test. We can go in here and look. Click on the test, and we can preview. And we can see each of our questions. Now, we can go a step further and view as a student. So now when we view as a student, we can take the quiz and we can come through here. And I am just going to randomly, what is the primary purpose of prototyping in product development? I am going to say, I'm just going to answer at random on these real quick, and then I'm going to say submit test, submit quiz, and then when we come back, this is where attempt 1, this is where the feedback comes in. So boom, your answer, reduce material costs. It says to test and refine ideas before product, and here we get the feedback down at the bottom. So Hacksaw was correct, no feedback. See no feedback in here. Correct answer was temporarily, it says temporarily test and connect. This is our feedback. So there you go. I hope that this is can aid you in creating quizzes within Canvas. Have a great day.